Okay, now I'm recording.
Great. Okay, great. Well, this is Erica Bloom from Growing Hope, and I just wanted to thank everyone for joining the call today. We have a good array of folks from across the state, and really Amanda and myself just wanted to get everyone together to talk about some of our mobile groceries and mobile farm stands that people have been doing it different ways and for a variety of locations and years. So we thought this would be a good opportunity to share best practices and lessons learned and just kind of get some, Q&A going. Like I said before, so Amanda is unfortunately sick, but she may jump on later and listen in. So I thought what we could do is just go a quick round and just introduce yourself and which group you're with. And then we could go in that order with our slides. And each person would have about 5 minutes just to talk through some of the questions that we put out there in the earlier email. And then at the end, we can kind of just open it up for like a Q&A as best as possible on a conference call. I know sometimes it's hard talking over each other, but I think we can do it. Does that sound good to folks?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, I started, I'm Erica Growing Hope in Ypsilanti. We've been running our farm stand for 2 years, so I'm going to end there. And so I guess we could go around. People in Southeast Michigan, Detroit region, want to go?
Sure. This is Noam Kimmelman with Fresh Corner Cafe. We've been operating different variations of a pop-up for about 2 years now, and the most recent iteration is with Peaches and Greens on a program called Fresh Market Pop-Ups.
Cool. And then I think Lansing, we have someone from Lansing?
Sure. Peggy Vaughn-Payne, and I'm with Northwest Initiative in Lansing, and we just received a grant to start a mobile farmers market for this coming summer. So we're brand new at this. Sorry, I don't have any pictures or anything like that. I was just trying to best answer the questions that you kind of posed, but so we're brand new. Anyways, thanks.
Great. Who else? Grand Rapids?
Hi, this is Eugene from Grand Rapids, YMCA. We have had a mobile farmers market for around 6 years now. And we expanded about 3 years ago into the Muskegon area. And so I oversee both of the Veggie vans. We average anywhere between 15 to 25 sites a week, and we're grant funded. We sell mostly local produce.
Great. And then Erin, are you in Grand Rapids or somewhere else?
No, I'm in Flint.
Flint.
Okay. We started the Flint Fresh Mobile Market as a collaborative we started going to sites in late August, so we've not been at it for very long.
Okay. And then, Catherine, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Catherine Colasanti with the Center for Regional Food Systems, and I do not operate a mobile market, but Amanda approached me with this idea of hosting this conversation, which I was happy to do. We at the center try to play that convening role and supporting people talking to and learning from one another. And also one of the projects I work on is our shared measurement effort, where we work on better tracking and aligning ways we're measuring progress and success related to Good Food Charter goals. So in that vein, it felt like this was a good conversation for us to support.
Yeah, great. And I know Teddy Milgram from Washington County Public Health is on the line. Not sure if she's able to talk or if she's just looking at the slides, but she's here. She's Public Health supports Growing Hope and has been a partner in our mobile farm stand for the past 2 years. So continued partnership there. Is anyone else, did I miss anyone that's on and hasn't introduced themselves?
Hi, I'm here.
Hello? Hi.
Hi, it's Dana from Growing Hope.
Hey,
I'm here too.
Oh, hey, Dana. Great.
Hey.
Restaurant. Great. Yeah. All right. Okay.
I'm Patrice Brown. I'm here from the Eastern Market.
Oh, great.
I don't know if I can get to the slides, but I'm trying to get to them now.
Okay. Well, we'll send out the recording of this and the slides after, and I'll take notes. So just in case people can't see or hear, we'll get that out. Okay. So to get started, Catherine, I had a technical question. So I have my slides up right now. Does that mean that everyone can see what I'm sharing?
Yes, as long as they are on that URL that was sent out.
Okay. So then the idea being I would stop sharing when I'm done and then a new person would share their screen.
Correct.
Is that how it works? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Can everyone on the call see then the Ypsilanti Mobile Farm Stand, that first slide?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'll start us off here, and then we can kind of go around. Sound good? So the Ypsi Mobile Farm Stand, we started last summer. That was a pilot year in 2015. And it's really both a place to increase healthy food access points and an outreach arm for the Ypsilanti Farmers Market. So Growing Hope runs 2 markets through May through October, and then we have an indoor market that just started in our downtown location. So the mobile farm stand has played a role in both of those. So we started, like I said, last year, we run from July through October. And we decided to locate kind of both on census data. We were working on from a grant last year from the Building Healthy Communities grant, and we wanted to focus on reaching Latinos in our community. So we looked at places where we saw there was a high percentage of Latinos living nearby, and ended up developing, some of our marketing materials in English and Spanish. And we had varying success to that. We actually went to 3 locations last year. One was the Washtenaw County Public Health Department. They have a courtyard in there between the Department of Health and Human Services and Public Health. And we also went to Superior Township across from their library, which is more of a rural community, just north of Ypsilanti. And then we were also in Ypsilanti Township, kind of near a lower income apartment complex. So those were our 3 sort of first starts. And it was, I think for our first year, we did fine. The township locations were harder because they were more rural and less people passed by. So we didn't get as much turnout in customer sales as we had hoped for. When we didn't reach as many Latinos as we also had hoped for. But I think we did a really good job of creating partnerships, and which is what we think we want to be doing more of, and where we hope the farm stand will continue. So this year, this photo actually is like one of the first days we did the Superior Township farm stand, and it gets hooked up to this truck that drives it around Ypsilanti and then sets it up. And that was us setting it up. So this is the first day last year. These are some of our staff members and 2 of our teen interns who helped sell produce with us. So you can kind of get a sense of how we set things up in there. This is a photo when we were at the Washtenaw County Human Services Courtyard. So we went to each of those locations 3 times. We went to 3 locations once a week, and we stayed at each of those for about 3 hours each. So it takes about 5 hours, for each location to do setup and takedown. And we were also going at some points directly from one location to the other, so that did save some time. But I think the operations, one of the reasons we wanted to talk to other people is to get a sense of how long are you staying at each location, and how many different places are you going per week? Because we've been thinking maybe we should go for more locations but less time at each one. So I just wanted to get a sense of what others thought. So we sourced our produce from our farm, which is about an acre on downtown Ypsilanti. And we also sourced from local farmers who vended our farmers markets. So we were getting, from our farm, we were getting onions and peppers, tomatoes, a lot of greens, and the things that we weren't able to source, like corn and a lot of fruit, as well as we sold some honey and eggs. Those were the things we bought from the vendors. When we had leftovers, we would donate it to food pantries. Hope Clinic is one of them nearby, and we were also at Eastern this year. So I kind of skipped over where we went this year, but we went back to Superior Township and the Washtenaw County Public Health Department courtyard. And then we actually ended up setting up right in front of the Growing Hope Center on our farm. Some vegetables or had never tasted it have a good chance to do some tasting there. In terms of our marketing and outreach, I talked about the first year we're really trying to do more Spanish-speaking population, so we did have a lot of materials made in Spanish. We also, the first year, we had an outreach coordinator, and she was responsible for going door to door with postcards, and she did different presentations. I think that worked pretty well. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring her back on this past summer. So a lot of what we did was kind of as much as we could from our staff. We did distribute more postcards, did social media. We had a farmers market e-newsletter, and then we sent lots of kind of personal emails and like e-blasts out to partners. So I think that as well was something that we would like to hear from others, is how other people market and do the outreach. I think that's always been a challenge for us, of who's doing it and, how often and who we're reaching. But that would be something great to talk more about. In terms of staffing, our farmers market manager mostly led the stand, but we did have a lot of different people on staff playing various roles this year and last. Going to the farm stand, helping set it up, keeping track of the reporting. And so I think that was, we're kind of learning our way through the best management style for this program, because it does reach a lot of different parts of our organization. Like, we have our farm and we have the market, and we had a lot of different staff working it. So this second year, we mostly just had our farmers market manager running the farm stand and doing all the back end work of it alongside the teen interns. One of the things that came out of this, on average, we had about 1,000 visitors from June to December this year for total, which was a little bit lower than last year. Our sales were about $1,800, and the first year we actually did a little bit better with $2,300 in sales. So that's one of our, when we talked about challenges and opportunities, I think for Growing Hope, we're really just trying to get this off the ground. Those aren't bad numbers, but we do hope that we can have increased sales and increased sales from people using their EBT, SNAP, and Double Up food bucks. So, and that's something we've been trying to learn our way through too, is, do we need to be going to different locations or doing different outreach? What's the best operation model? Right now we are taking, like I said, SNAP and EBT and Double Up food bucks. Because we have a partnership with Washtenaw County Public Health, we were also doing the prescription for health program at the market. So this is a picture of us again at the county health department. So I guess those were, some of the main highlights. I know I want to not take up too much more time, but I think our biggest, success was forming strong partnerships with people, and that we want to have that continued, and that there is a lot of excitement and engagement. We've been written into a few more grants for next year, so we'll see if that comes through. And then, just some of the biggest challenges is knowing the best places to locate, and what is the model for how long and, how often. We've tried a couple different strategies to varying success, but we think that there's probably other ways that we can improve the customer count and the sales. So, yeah, so I'll just stop there for now. And should I stop sharing my screen now then, Catherine, or?
Yeah, go ahead and stop, and then
Okay.
whoever's next, for some people I think it's on the top and for some it's on the bottom, but if you hover over, there should be a bar of options that pops up, and
Okay.
one of those should be share screen.
So who's going next?
I could go.
Noam, do you want to go? Okay.
Sure.
Well, why don't we go in the order we introduced ourselves? So we'll have Noam go next.
Alrighty. Let's see here. Share screen. Oops. Did that work?
Yep.
Yeah, that worked.
Cool. Okay, my name is Noam. I'm with Fresh Corner Cafe, and we've been doing pop-ups for about 2 years. And the most recent iteration, well, we've been doing our own pop-ups, and we focus mainly on prepared healthy food, and we use grant and corporate sponsorships to subsidize the food so that, say, a $7 or $8 salad will go for $3 or $4. And that's kind of the model that we focused primarily on in the first year and a half. The grant allowed us to combine with Peaches and Greens, which is a local neighborhood grocer and a nonprofit, and they were doing primarily produce-based markets and pop-ups, and we combined the two into a comprehensive market that offers both fresh produce and healthy, affordable, prepared meals. We accept cash, credit, and EBT, not double up food bucks yet, and we're still kind of struggling with EBT a little bit, so that's something we're working through. Let's see, this is kind of a loose map of most of the locations we're in. The little green benches are where the markets take place. And so we're mostly around Metro Detroit. We have a couple spots in Monroe which aren't showing up on this map, but right now we're in 13 weekly sites and hoping to move to 20 by early 2017. The little red pins are our delivery locations, and that's kind of a different part of the business. So this is an example of our pop-up. So again, you'll see the fresh produce on the right and the meals on the left. This is a school, so we function primarily in 2 sites. One are schools after school when parents are picking up their children, and we found that primarily middle and elementary schools work best because there's more parental involvement and traffic through the school. And the other sites that we work in are YMCAs. And so this is the Livonia YMCA, and we're in 5 YMCAs across the metro area. And we're also in a number of like recreation centers as well that are not YMCAs. And so 2 very different markets. In the YMCAs, we're targeting mostly seniors. And in the schools, we're targeting mostly parents of little children, and even the little children themselves seem to be rounding up a couple dollars here and there lately, which has been really exciting. Let's see. So a couple pieces of our model. So we do it once a week. We're pretty quick hit, I think, comparative to a lot of models. Rather than the 4 or 5 hours, we do maximum 2 hours. And I think some sites would work just as well if we did 30 or 45 minutes. So during the schools, we typically do about an hour, but really there's about 30 minutes of traffic, 15 right before school ends and 15 right after school ends. And then the last 30 minutes, we'll get a few sales here and there, but it mostly dies down after that. So we usually get one big rush with schools. With YMCAs, you kind of get interesting rushes on the hour every hour because there's classes that let out every hour. And so we'll usually get the traffic right after the classes let out. And we've worked with the YMCA's and the rec centers to target classes that target seniors specifically, so that when the seniors come out, there's food available for them. And usually this is a lunch period, so 11 to 1 has been our sweet spot for the YMCA's. As far as sourcing, so we don't have a specific focus on local or year-round operation. So yeah, we're a year-round operation, and we kind of source locally when possible and when affordable, but our major focus is affordability and accessibility. And you'll see in some of these pictures, we offer about 5 to 6 produce items, and we don't get too fancy with the produce. It's bananas, apples, oranges, broccoli. Kind of stick with the staples. As far as outreach and marketing, we really rely on each host organization to spread the word within their networks. We'll do some like social media marketing, and we have some different flyers and postcards, but we really rely on the networks that already exist within each space, and typically each host site that we work with, whether it's a PTA or just a school newsletter, seems to have its own promotion mechanisms. As far as staffing, I think we have an interestingly unique staffing model that's been actually, I think, one of the strengths of our program so far. We use a volunteer model, and the volunteers come from the host organization. So we asked each host organization to identify a volunteer or two to run the stand. So in this picture, you'll see the woman on the left is a staff person, and the woman on the right is a customer of YMCA or a member. And the two of them run the stand, and in exchange for running the stand, they get a $25 discount that they can split between the two of them. And that's been a really successful model because, we're coming into all these different sites and we don't know anybody there. And when we come in, it's a little bit harder to break the ice. But when someone who's behind the stand is someone you see every day or you see every week, it's a lot easier to build that relationship between the customer and the staff. And so that's been a really successful model, I think, so far. Average sales and customer count. Our goal is to hit like 225 per market. And I think right now we're at about 150 or 160. And we hope that there's something to do with site selection. Also, we're hoping to make produce a bigger piece of the market. Right now it's kind of small, and we're moving a lot more prepared food than produce. And so we hope to balance that out a little bit, and also smooth out EBT transactions, since we've been having a lot of issues with our machines and service providers. Payment is all through Square. You'll see in the bottom here, one of our volunteers is using a Square reader or a Square stand, and that's a really excellent point of sale system. I highly recommend it if anyone wants to talk about that. And it really lets you track data at a pretty detailed level, which is exciting. Let's see, last 2 questions, doing well. So I think the volunteer model, again, is a really big part of our success. And I think kind of quick hits where we're in their maximum 2 hours. And I'd like to shorten some of the markets to even 45 minutes. I think works really well. And then the challenges, we'd love to sell more produce, smooth out our EBT payment terminal system, and hopefully continue growing. And then just one last picture. This is Northwest Activity Center. That's more of a complete setup of the offerings. That's all I got.
Nice pictures.
Great.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Noam. That was great. Okay. How about, let's see, Erin, do you want to share your screen if you have some photos?
Okay, sorry, I couldn't mute or unmute there for a second.
I was just about to ask if I could. You were there. Okay.
So I've also got with me Amber, Hasan, and Bobby, who run the mobile market, and hopefully they'll jump in a little bit too. But so this is our outside summertime setup. We started at the end of August of this year. We were able to obtain a Your Ride vehicle from the MTA. And we had these carts built so that we could load the produce up a ramp from the truck. We started going to the sites we go to, Amber?
Yes, when we first started, our sites were a senior apartment complex. We went to a liquor store, which is located in a food desert and does not offer any healthy food options.
Right.
We went to it's a senior community center as well. And we also go to a neighborhood engagement hub, which is just like a community resource center within one of the quadrants of the city. And right now we added a site, which is Hurley Hospital. So we're trying to balance sites where there's a great need and also sites that will add to sustainability. So we're trying to have that balance where, people have the most need in the areas that are the deepest into the food desert. And then, balance that with places where people have higher incomes and, will spend more per purchase.
So we have a variety of produce that we prioritize from local growers, but we do buy from one of the produce resellers a lot of fruit, so that we're having a lot of fruit. And then the local grocer, which operates the mobile market, also does some prepared sandwiches and salads and such. The Flint Fresh Mobile Market is a partnership between the YMCA, the Community Foundation of Greater Flint, the Neighborhood Engagement Hub, the Flint Farmers Market, and the local grocer. So we have a lot of partners at the table that is making this happen. With sites for advertising, do you want to talk about?
For advertising, what we did, we utilized billboards. We utilized social media a great deal. We utilized as far as once we sent our press releases, we got contacted by news outlets. So we utilized those free marketing avenues as well. We made kind of door hanger flyers that have our locations and have the times we will be there, as well as they have information about lead resources on them. So it kind of gives people something that they keep because it has the lead resources on it. So they also have our information on it as well. As well as just traditional flyers and handbills. We go to community events and talk about the mobile market. And really our marketing is multifaceted, and we utilize different methods to.
So we have two staff right now. Amber is the mobile market manager and Bobby is the assistant manager. And both of them go out. Right now we're going to 4 sites a week, 4 days a week. So we'll stay at each site for about 2 hours. And that includes about an hour for loading up and an hour for breaking down and coming back and unloading at the store. We take EBT and double up food bucks, cash and charge. We do utilize a square register and for sales. Some of the sites like Hurley Hospital, we do very well. We can make $600 on one day, and some sites we're lucky to do $20. So it really varies. We found that it's a little bit more challenging with being inside now. So we had started out, this is one of our inside setups at Hurley Hospital. It's a lot more challenging if we're inside a community center and people don't know we're there. So we're thinking about what sort of banners could we get when we're inside. What else do you guys think is going well?
One of the things that's going really well is social media. we get better responses when we post videos. That's one of the things that we noticed. So going live when we're actually at the market, having people in the community, you know, say a little something about the market while they're there, posting that online and posting where we are. I think that really helps. Utilizing social media is a big aspect of you know, pushing the mobile market. I think more people hear about the mobile market through social media than most of our platforms.
Right.
What about you, Bobby? What do you think is going well?
Me personally, I think as far as us engaging with the people also, you know, to have people to talk face to face, explain some of the vegetables and the fruits that we have, and perhaps even make some dishes.
Yeah.
And some things that they can actually get an example out of, you know, as far as what they taste like, you know, because we have some of the things that, like, in my opinion, is exotic, you know, things I haven't seen.
Yeah, we did a sampling last week at the senior center because we had a lot of questions about some of the things we carry, because we do try to carry a lot of local produce. So we carry what's in season. And kohlrabi was one of the big things. Like, people were like, what is this? What do I do with it? And the daikon radishes.
Right.
So we had our team member who does the preparing of the food and packing of our stuff. She made some dishes using those items, and she actually came out and they were able to talk to her and find out, you know, what she made, and it really just made a really good connection with the customer.
I forgot there is a third person to the team. We do have somebody who works part-time to load up and pack up items for the for each time that they go out. So we have somebody who works twice a week, 3-hour shifts right now, to pack up for the 4 days of produce sales. So I think that's it.
Do you want me to go next? This is Peggy. And I don't have pictures, so I'm just going to kind of answer the questions for you.
That sounds fine.
Is that okay? All right. So we're in Lansing, Michigan, and we're brand new. We have not started yet. We're in the process of locating a bus or a box truck to retrofit. We had our hands on one, but we didn't have money in hand yet. So we lost it. So we're in the process again of trying to find the perfect vehicle to use for this. Our initial focus is going to be to provide the services to the residents living in 6 food deserts in the core of Lansing, and to expand to other neighborhoods in 2018. So we're looking to start this coming spring, summer, probably more like late June, July. And then we're looking to operate seasonally in 2017, probably June to October, and then look to expand or elongate the season in 2018. We're in Lansing, Michigan, so the urban core of Lansing. We're still working out our actual locations and stops, but it will be once a week stops. We're working with the neighborhoods in each of those 6 food desert areas to find out what's the best place for us to stop, whether it's a church or a school or community center. What's the easiest place for the folks who live there to get to that location? And we're probably going to be at the location 1 to 1.5 hour intervals. Let's see, we are purchasing our food from the food hub at the Allen Marketplace and Roots Farm in Mason, and about 6 other local farmers, including some of our community gardens that we have. I have 4 school and 3 community gardens that we operate. And we're also looking to collaborate with one of our local grocery stores for requested fruits and vegetables that are obviously not grown in Michigan. As it is with a food desert, as you all know, residents want bananas. They want grapes, you know, when they're in season, and obviously those things are not grown here. So we want to be able to have foods that the residents want and need. So we'll look at ways to procure those items as well. Sort of outreach or marketing, well, that's going to all be determined, but we're going to probably use a lot of the social media as well as relying on our partners in each of these neighborhoods to really help get the word out. We're in the process this winter of really kind of surveying them to see what specific fruits and vegetables and items do they want or need and would be willing to purchase, so that we can make sure that our farmers that are growing locally for the things that are grown in Michigan, that they have those available for us to buy come next year. The sort of staffing that we're looking at, we're again to be determined, but we're intending to hire a part-time mobile market coordinator with some grant funds that have already been secured, probably at 15 to 20 hours a week, along with a cadre of volunteers. We couldn't do this without all the volunteers that I utilize in all of my programs, so and probably some interns as well. Unknown about our average sales and customer counts, so we'll be keeping some great data to be able to show, you know, what we're able to accomplish in the first year. The forms of payment that we're looking at are, we have the Westside Farmers Market, so we've had a market for a number of years, but we have Bridge Card, the hopefully Double Up Food Bucks this coming year for that, Senior Market Fresh with Project Fresh credit debit cards and cash. Something that we're doing well, again, we have no idea yet, so that's to be determined. But the challenge for us, even with our traditional farmers market, is we really want to reach more of those SNAP eligible families that live in our food deserts. And what we have found over the years is that many of them generally have not opted to shop at the traditional farmers market because they see the prices as too high for the quantity that they need to feed their family. So we're looking at doing, you know, some kind of outreach education campaign to show the audience about the benefits of supporting local farmers and how much fresher the food is and tastes. So we'll do a lot of taste samplings. And we're going to also work with the farmers for the best prices possible. One of the things that we're going to do that we learned from Grand Rapids, you know, the Wise Fruit and Veggie Van, is that they do the price checks each week with the local grocers to see what's the lowest price around, and then, you know, price our items to be lower than that to lure people, you know, to purchase from us. So we'll be doing that as well. So that's kind of us in a nutshell right now.
Great. Thank you, Peggy.
You're welcome. So we're going to have questions.
Who's next?
Oh, so, okay.
Eugene? Eugene, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Do you have yes? Do you have slides or just talking?
I have slides.
Okay.
Not sure what I do. I need to do to get them on the screen.
Did you click share your screen?
No, I don't see where I can select that option.
Do you have the Zoom window up on your screen?
Okay. No, what I'm seeing right now is just a list of participants.
Mm-hmm. So if you have the Zoom window up, there on the bottom there's a little box that says share screen.
Okay, I must be in a different window then. I see at the bottom of mine says join audio, invite participants.
Yeah, it should be right next to that, actually.
It's a green.
Yeah, I don't have that option, so maybe I don't have the right screen up. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, if you can't find it, you can you can just talk through the presentation and then send over the file to everyone.
Okay. Well,
we could
I apologize. I don't have that option on my screen here to share my window, unfortunately. But anyway, I'll go ahead and talk to my through my slides, and I can send them to you later.
Yeah.
The Veggie Van in Grand Rapids has been operating for about 6 years now. And we operate in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Muskegon. Muskegon we added on about 3 years ago. We really try to focus on change of life expectancy. And I know that's a big goal, but we believe that your zip code oftentimes determines your life expectancy. And so we really try to focus on what we have termed the name the Hope Zones in Grand Rapids, Michigan. These areas were areas that was a map of the inner city of Grand Rapids and was coined by a few of the foundations here. And so this is an area that over the past couple of years, a lot of philanthropy dollars and a lot of attention have been given to because these are some of the most vulnerable populations in Grand Rapids and some of the most at risk for chronic illnesses. So the way that we started was back in 2002. We started with a school-based activity called Healthy You, and then that snowballed into our Nutrition Action, our school-based program. And once we established that, we ventured off into Cooking Matters. Then that continued to snowball, and then we seen the need for a mobile farmers market. We started that market. We were just seasonal, and we've evolved to being year-round. We partner with different foundations, and we apply for grants to help to offset the cost of operating the Veggie Van and staff. So over the last few years, we've had foundations such as the Kellogg's Foundation, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Michigan Department of Agriculture, REACH, and community voice surveys is what we conduct to get the feedback from the community about where the greatest need is and what they're looking for the most. And so we use that to determine our strategic processes and how to move forward from year to year. We also partner with local growers. Currently, we work, depending on the season, we may work from 10 to 20 local growers. So the Veggie Van is a community-based program, but we also venture into different areas. And so we attend about, I'll say last spring and summer, we went to about over 20 to 25 different community partner events. And so these can range from school functions to senior living center functions, low-income apartment complexes and different functions as well. These events are additions to our weekly schedule. We will put out a monthly schedule, and from week to week, we will go to the sites repeatedly. We usually average in Grand Rapids about one site a week. In Muskegon, we may average that same site may average 2 to 3 times a week. And the hours will differ. We are on the road 6 days a week. We are on the road every day except Sunday. And we partner with some local growers in Grand Rapids also that do summer programming. And so like we also try to focus on the community needs as well. And so we work with some farmers that work with at-risk youth, and they teach the at-risk youth skills of employment. And we often will try to write those type of programs into our grants as well. And so not only do we sell the produce from local farmers, but if we can help to employ youth, we have been able to be successful in the past few years. What we're working on now is trying to get those same programs employed year round, and then also be able to offer those youth jobs once they're of age. And so that is also written to our grants as well, oftentimes. And so over the past 3 or 4 years, we've had those partners that I mentioned, but we also have other grants, some more significant and others financially. Currently, right now, the REACH grant is our main funder for the Veggie Van, in Grand Rapids. Reach Transformational Ethnic Approaches to Community Health is a federally funded grant through the CDC. It has 4 main points, and one of those points is the healthy living point. And so the Veggie Van helps to connect the dots in the community to build more relationships and provide more access. We also focus on increased food justice as well as equity. So over the past 3 years, we received over $3 million in grants for our department, not just the Veggie Van, but for our department, Activate. The Veggie Van has received nearly about $40,000 a year to maintain the structure of the program. And we accept all forms of payment, accept personal checks. The big what's next for us is our corner store initiative. And so what we found out is the Veggie Van has been highly sought out and highly needed in the community, but it still hasn't been enough. We are only able to do so much. We have competitors that are outside of the areas that we tend to go to, such as Walmart, but inside the areas that we are working in, there's often no other availability to access some of these type of produce that we're offering. And so what we found out is that if we could partner with corner stores, then there's a better means of access. And so over the past 2 years, we have developed a new program called the Healthy Corner Store Initiative. And so currently we are partnering with 8 corner stores in some of the same areas that we have served over the past couple of years. Through the help with some grants and foundations, we have been able to do store upgrades. So we have purchased coolers, we have upgraded electrical, we have purchased point of sale systems, and we have truly partnered with these corner store owners in a way that we are taking majority of the risk on something that they would love to offer the community, but haven't been willing to take that risk in the past. And so some of these corner stores sell, tobacco and junk food and potato chips and porn and just really unhealthy stuff has been the culture of some of these stores. And some of these stores that really just have had poor reputations over the years. And so we have been really successful in snowballing and partnering with these corner stores with the Veggie Van. The Veggie Van also will make deliveries weekly to these stores and stock the shelves for these stores. These store owners are used to businesses such as Cola and Pepsi coming in and stocking their own shelves, and they often don't have time to do it themselves, or because they're busy, or they don't have the means to employ adequate staff to be able to do that on a consistent basis. So we have really dug deep into providing community fresh produce when the Veggie Van isn't there, but it also allows the Veggie Van to continue to roam and continue to add new sites weekly. And that's it for me.
Great, thank you so much. I think we have one more. Patrice from Eastern Market. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. This is Patrice Brown from the Eastern Market. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Yes, you can hear you.
Okay, good. I did not prepare slides for the today, but I can, send some later on in the week if you guys really need them. But basically, I'm a assistant food access coordinator at the Eastern Market. I started off as a fellow in 2015. We have a fellowship program that's been going on for about 7 years now, and it's called our Food and Health Fellowship Program. It was started by our president, Dan Carmody, out of his Subaru. It's a pop-up mobile market. Basically, we went from Dan selling vegetables out of his Subaru early on in around 2009 to us growing into visiting 21 to 22 sites this past year. And we basically go out to set up our farm stands, Eastern Market farm stands, which are pop-up mobile markets around the city of Detroit and the Metro Detroit area. We service about, because I don't have questions in front of me, we service about 11 corporate sites, which are our sponsor sites, and we service 11, last year we serviced 11 community sites, which entails schools and community centers, hospitals. These community sites normally have their own farmers market already running, and so we just go and pretty much add value to their farmers market, which already exists. And we service the community in that way. Sometimes we are the only vendor at a community site, which is one of our hospital sites. It's a basic weekly hospital site that we go to, Samaritan Center, and we're primarily the only vendor there sometimes. So last year, the Eastern Market Farm Stand Program brought in about $61,000 in total sales. We purchased lots of our produce locally. We source from the Eastern Market farmers and from the different businesses around the district. We sourced about $55,000 in produce and value-added items from our local vendors here at the Eastern Market and the businesses in the district. We service about about 5,000 people, customers a year, and we visit 337 sites. We have 337 site visits a year. So the fellowship entails us hiring. This year we were able to hire 18 fellows versus in the past 2 years we only were able to hire 12. But because of increased grant funding, we were able to hire more fellows this year. Our primary sources of income is about $80,000 of our income for food access comes from our corporate sponsors, and then we have about $100,000 last year comes from the Lions, and then we have other sources of income coming from different organizations around the Metro Detroit area. WK Catalog Foundation and United Way also help fund our food access programs. So that entails also our food assistance programs that we run here on the market every Saturday year round. Our pop-up mobile markets are not year round, and I hear a lot of you guys speak to being year round, and that would be something interesting. We run only 16 weeks out of the year during the summer, but we go to 21 weekly sites. So sometimes we have a very intense schedule. Managing 18 people this year was very intense for us. We do about 38 schedules throughout the summer from June to October at the 21 sites that we visit every week. This year, we added a pilot program for Detroit stores, some grocery stores, independent grocery stores in Detroit, where we actually did tasting stations. We find it pretty difficult to have a tasting at each site that we go to every week because we do a pretty intense farm stand setup. I like Flint setup because you guys have rolly carts. We actually are self-sustaining in that we don't have the rolly carts, but we do have tables that each site is equipped with. We have our branding Eastern Market tablecloths, and we pretty much set up a farm stand like you would see maybe in the Flint Farmers Market or in the Eastern Market at a vendor's table. So we set up a pretty intense farm stand. We also added this year to our program our own Eastern Market recipe cards. So we did about 60,000 recipe cards, and we distribute a pretty significant amount. I don't have that amount of recipe cards that we've distributed this year in front of me, but the recipe card service serve as a way to outreach, give people that nutritional education that they need also at the table, not just to buy those vegetables, but a lot of people don't know what to do with a vegetable like kohlrabi. But we have designed recipes through our chef here at the Eastern Market and some of our fellows and nutritionists and dietitians that we hired this year. They contributed to giving recipes, healthy recipes out this year. So that was a really significant program. Our tasting station program in the grocery stores, I wanted to kind of talk more about that because it was a pilot program this year. We went into about 7 grocery stores, and we set up solely just a tasting station. We did not sell any produce. We actually acted as an advocate for grocery stores in neighborhoods that are normally neighborhoods where it's a transportation issue in Detroit. So these residents are not always able to get to the Eastern Market or any of our community sites. So we decided to build relationships with independent grocers around Detroit in 7 different locations. And we just simply set up a tasting station where we used some of our recipe cards and gave out samples and introduced lots of, just I guess a balance of new vegetables that people may not be familiar with, but we had to also learn that we needed to present vegetables that they are familiar with, maybe giving them a new recipe or a way to cook those different vegetables was also a successful thing for us. We added eggs and cheese as value-added items and syrup this year. We normally just have the peanut butter and jams and salsas in our farm stand, but this year something that was different that we did was add eggs, cheese, and maple syrup. So that was something that was new. We also had Ford Motor Company donate a refrigerated truck unit to our food access program, which really helped us keep our produce a lot fresher. As we took it out to the community sites, we were able to commit to bringing the cheese and eggs out to the community sites as added food value items to their community sites, because we did surveys last year at some of the community sites and they expected a little bit more to their grocery, like their shopping experience at a farmer's market. So we were able to add the cheese and the eggs this year as a result of the surveys that we took last year. We actually did some of Noam's wraps and pineapple slices and different salads we purchased right from Noam's group, and that was very successful this year, addition to our farm stand. And next year we're looking to expand, maybe, add on a couple sites. But I would say if you have the capacity to do 2 or 3 sites a day, you should, because we do that very successfully. But we have, we have a more in-depth staff that can do the 2 or 3 sites a day. So we kind of make up for being a year-round pop-up mobile market by doing the 2 or 3 sites a day. So if you can do that, you should. We want to add more sites this year as we utilize our refrigerated unit a little bit more. And then we also are considering, we haven't yet solidified this ideal yet, but we are considering at some of our lower sales sites to do a food box. And so some of the, so Gleaners had a food pantry where they did a food box. They actually didn't continue that service this year. So the Eastern Market Farm Stand program decided that we may be able to, provide that service next year for one of our community centers here and some of our corporate sites. So we're excited to try that. We do accept all forms of payment. So I'm trying to remember everything everybody talked about. We take cash and credit, double up food bucks. We take the WIC Project Fresh coupons. We also take Senior Market Fresh coupons. And at some of our medical sites, at our hospitals and community health centers, we take Fresh Prescription program, the Fresh Prescription card. And that's been a very successful program this year for us. And sometimes we take payroll deduction. So we didn't do that a lot this year. We actually didn't have any payroll deduction, but we do have some corporate sites that are interested in having their employees participate in payroll deduction for next year. So that's basically our program. I'll send over some slides a little later.
Okay, thanks so much. I think at this point, is everyone had a chance to go and talk about their program? I don't want to miss anyone. Why don't we open it up if people have questions for each other? It's a little bit after 3 right now, so just want to be conscious of time if people have to go. But yeah, if people have questions or comments, let's open it up.
This is Noam.
Yeah, no, this is Catherine. Sorry. Oh,
okay.
Sorry. Just a quick
Yeah.
process note. This is Catherine. I actually have a 3 o'clock meeting I have to run off to, but I'm just going to leave the recording on, so you guys can keep talking. But if I don't respond to anything, that is why.
This is Eugene. I have to take off also, but I emailed everybody my slides.
Okay. Thanks, Eugene.
Thanks.
I just had a quick question for Flint people specifically, but anyone. You guys mentioned that social media was pretty strong for you and helpful, and I'm just curious if there are any strategies worth sharing that have been helpful for you.
One of I think the biggest things that helps us is that both myself and Bobby and Erin have a lot of community contacts. So once we created the Facebook page for Flint Fresh Mobile Market, we, all are tied to the market. So if you have, say, 4 of your partners have 10,000, 5,000 personal followers each, you pull from that you know, and those people, they, you know, the people who are looking at this feel like they know who's invested in the market personally.
Mm-hmm.
So if they see, you know, if we do a video, like we went to a community resource fair the other day and we did just a live video there, you know, showing all the vendors, let some of the people get on video. We take pictures of our customers and we post it on the page and we tell them, hey, go to our page and you'll see your picture up there.
Mm-hmm.
It also helps that Amber's obviously like one of those people in the community that is active personally on social media, and that people already follow her and trust her. And so when she started managing the mobile market, she brought a lot of those people over with her. Now, if you can find some pivotal people who are trusted in the community that will vouch for your mobile market, you can often pull them onto the social media or ask them to do a video on your page, and that often pull their followers over to your page.
Yeah, videos are a really, really, really big one. Just for example, we'll post a picture, we may get 20 people engaged. We post a video, we'll get maybe 250 people engaged.
Wow.
It's the nature of people. They want to see, you know, organically what's going on. We don't do anything like scripted. All of the video is natural. It's all real. And I think that really helps it too. There's not like, you know, some put on show that we're doing. It's like, this is what the mobile market does for real. This is where we're at.
Right.
Oh, and we always wear, me and Bobby always have on some sort of Flint Fresh t-shirt, a hat, a jacket. I've got a Flint Fresh bag. So no matter where I'm at in the community, I'm always a walking advertisement for Flint Fresh, and people will be like, hey, I saw you on the news. Or a store owner the other day when I went in the corner store was like, hey, what's that about? And I was able to, you know, talk with him about building a relationship with us in his store. So I think it's just really about, you know, just branding. You know, it has to kind of be looked at as, you know, like you're branding for a artist or something like that. You just have to create that buzz around it, I think.
Have a nice logo, something that's catchy. Definitely keep it in people's face, because a lot of people ask us about our advertisement logos.
And giveaways too. We do things like at the sites we'll have, you know, people can put their name in for a giveaway, and that way we get contact information and they get something from the Flint Fresh mobile market where they can say, oh, I got some apples that were amazing. Or, you know, I got this $5 gift card that I can spend with them. So the giveaways have been really, really positive too.
Get a nice t-shirt, jacket, and they'll turn right around and wear it, and that's more advertising.
Definitely. Cool. Thanks.
This is Erica. I had a question. I know Eugene had to leave the call, but anyone who's partnering with corner stores with their mobile farm stands or mobile grocers, because we've been trying to have some, you know, new relationships with local corner stores in Ypsilanti, but we haven't really yet connected our farm stand to any of the local grocers. So I'm just curious if anyone's been like the success of that or some of the challenges that have been, you know, like what would be like a good first step to start that process?
It was a little easier for us because I knew one of the store owners personally, because I have found that some of the store owners are kind of like, feel like you might be taking their business. But we do have some more store owners interested. And the biggest thing was just like, you know, most of them want to carry, you know, produce, some sort of produce. They want to carry bananas or apples, but it just costs so much, and they go and buy them from Sam's. And you tell them how it benefits them. You know, you tell them like, hey, you know, we won't sell anything that you sell. That's one of the things that we did make sure. So we sell Everfresh juices. They sell Everfresh juices. We don't bring those on the day we go to the corner store. Right. So we just talked about how the relationship was going to be, you know, mutually beneficial, but mostly telling them what benefit they would get from it. For one, they get all our advertising. So if we're advertising on the news, if we're advertising on billboards, if we're advertising, you know, hand to hand, they get their name and their business put on all of that, on our Facebook, on our website. So they get free advertising. For a small store, that's a big thing, because you're really giving them like $1,000 worth of advertising budget for free. And then the next thing was, like I said, just, ask them, can you put some surveys? That was one of the things too. Because their customers, if their customers are filling out surveys saying, hey, yes, we would like this here, and you can supply the survey. So they can see firsthand that, yeah, my customers do want to be able to grab fruits and maybe some eggs or something that they don't carry. So I think just really showing them the benefit for them.
I will also add to that I'm from the Eastern Market, so it's good. This year, how we got into the grocery stores was we worked with a local organization called AFPD. It's the Food and Petroleum Dealers, and they are basically over all the independent grocery stores in Detroit, Ohio, and I think Chicago, Illinois. So we were able to connect with them, and they were able to get us in front of a group of independent grocers in the city of Detroit who wanted us to, after hearing our presentation for Taste and Station, who wanted us to come and be involved in their store. And advertisement was a part of that, enhancing their advertisement and making sure and giving them a service that they don't necessarily have in their store. So if you can show that you can provide that, I would agree with what Flint is saying. You have to show them the benefit that you bring to the table. So maybe get with a local organization that will help connect you with the stores.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks. Great. Is there any other questions before we end the call?
Thank you.
Yeah, well, definitely this is, a way that we can keep connected. I've been taking notes, so I'll clean up this Google Doc and I'll share it with everybody, and you all can, add to and edit to as needed. I'll send out an email too with some of the slides that we weren't able to see, but definitely want to keep connected, and maybe if people have other suggestions for staying connected, please let me know so we can, keep going.
Cool. Thank you for organizing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks so much for sharing, everybody. And hope to be in touch soon.
All right. Bye, all.
Bye.